Hello, simplifiers. Guys, I'm trying to get settled. It's only 70, I mean, it's 70 degrees outside. So I just got home. The bells just finished playing for 10 minutes. The minute I walk outside, the bells started. I was like, I want to do a video, but not, it's just so loud because it's right across the street from us. So it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. I want to tell you, first of all, I know I've been absent. I made a video, never posted. I'm the world's worst, but I'm going to update you. We're going to skip that and just update you. This is Rainbow Nutrients Advanced Hair Growth. My hair, the falling out has slowed down a lot. So I really want to recommend this because this is way cheaper. This bottle, it says 60-day supply. Now I'm taking twice as many as it says because I can't keep losing hair. I'm going to go bald. I'm gonna go bald if my hair does not stop falling out. It's just coming out in handfuls. So this will only be 30-day supply, but if you took it the way you're supposed to, hopefully it doesn't kill me. It's just vitamins, so I don't think it's gonna hurt me. But my hair almost immediately, when I upped it to 4 pills, was like the hair loss finally stopped. I just don't feel like I can wait 3 months for this to kick in. So this is only $20 for this bottle. So my client had told me Nutrafol is great. Nutrafol is very, very expensive. And she also said, well, it took about 3 months. And I was like, it's this expensive and it took 3 months? So I didn't ask her, are we talking about 3 months before your hair stops falling out? Because I feel like I can't wait another 3 months. I waited too long to start this to begin with. If I'd started Nutrafol 3 months ago, okay. But the only thing is, once you start, you got to keep going. And I mean, it's like, I want to say it's like 80 a month. That, if you do the subscription, it's less, but a little bit. But 80 is a lot. I take a lot of supplements. I don't mind. If it works, that's fine. But this has slowed it down considerably. For instance, I'll just give you for instance. Normally, if I just do this, I can just sit here and pull hair out. So right now I'm doing this, hair's not falling out. Now that's not to say that hair doesn't fall out sometime during the day. And I know it's still, my hair has a lot of body because I curled it. So it still looks like there's a lot. There is about half what there was. I don't know if it's been 6 months or a year, but it's close to half of what it was. I had much more hair than this. So yes, I still have a lot, but up here, so my part is right here. Up here, I have to have my hat on. I'm sick all the time. So I'm still sick, it doesn't matter. But anyway, that's why my hat's on. It's not that cold. But so my part is right here. So the thinner side's here. You just won't believe how thin it feels right here. I'm just like, it's frightening. It's frightening. And I'm sure that men, my husband doesn't have hair. My dentist, I adore my dentist. He doesn't have hair. I feel sorry for men because so many of them lose their hair. But I don't think women are as used to it. And I feel like my hair is my best asset. I don't have women are really into boobs and all the things. I don't have any of that. And I frankly don't care. I don't care. But I love my hair. I'd like to keep, even if this is all I have, if I never get any more back, okay. I don't have bald spots. Okay. But I'm just like this. I can't keep losing this much hair. Every time I wash my hair, it's just coming out and coming out. And so I started the expensive compounded shampoo thinking, oh, this will be better. It can't be any worse. Well, I've quit using it because I felt like during the day, not when I was not washing my hair, but just like what I'm saying, like right now, I felt like during the day with this, my hair was staying put. It wasn't constantly, falling out. Well, I use that shampoo and you're supposed to leave it on so it can get into your scalp. So I put that on, then I shave my legs and wash and do all the things, and then I rinse it out. Tons of hair coming out still. Handfuls of hair, just way too much hair. So the last couple of nights, I'm trying to wash my hair I usually do every other day. I used to do every day. Then my hair's drier than it used to be. So now it's every other day. So I made myself go 3 days and I didn't use that shampoo. The Nizoral is doing the same thing. I feel like the Nizoral is also doing that. Quit using either one of those, and I used the Suave that I got to see if it was hairspray or something was leaving this weird stuff on my hair, because that stuff's still there. Even I used that several times and there was no difference. So that's not that expensive shampoo is not fixing it. Which, you know, she didn't really want to give it to me because I think she knew it wasn't going to fix it. So, but I think because I was desperate, she was like, okay, well, you know, if you want to try it. I was like, yes, I don't care if it's $55. I will try it. Well, it's making my hair fall out. So no, I'm done. So I just used this, and then a lot of times if I just used the Suave shampoo last night. And a lot of times if I put the conditioner on, then it seems like the conditioner, because I leave that on for a few minutes to get it to work, it's because I have so many rats and everything. Well, I feel like as much hair falls out when I condition as when I shampoo. So then we're talking about twice as much hair. So last night I used the shampoo only, and then I just managed somehow to work the comb through my hair. So I did lose more hair while I was combing. More hair did fall out, but it's still not, because what it was doing, I would comb my hair when I got out of the shower after losing all that hair in the shower, and then I would lose that much more. So last night was not as much. The last couple times it hasn't been as much. So I'm like, I'm gonna use this, try not to use conditioner unless I absolutely have to, and just use that one Suave shampoo. I just can't take anymore. I mean, my hair is just, it'd be okay if it was reconstituting itself, fine, no problem, but this has gone on for so many months. It's just not getting fixed. Okay, so where have I been? Well, Christmas went okay. Actually, for me, it was not a great day. I'm just gonna be honest. I was exhausted. I was just exhausted. I'm just gonna be as honest as I can be, without offending anyone. I don't want to offend anyone, but I was exhausted. So we get home. I always take my suitcase with me. I probably should have stayed. Dad, he just has to take a tub bath. I've talked him some into not doing that because I'm so afraid he's gonna get stuck in there. Well, he got stuck in there. And they don't have good sense. So he struggled for an hour. He's got the life alert button around his neck, okay? But why use that? Struggled for an hour because he just knows he can get out. Well, he couldn't. And so he's getting weaker. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't just drown in there. Just be so weak that you just drowned, right? I mean, seriously. So, and he can't swim. I mean, not that you need to build, but you know what I mean? If you're that weak and you just fell, I don't know. I'm not saying he would. I'm just saying it's crazy to me that you got this around your neck and you won't just flip and use it, okay? So he waited an hour, and knowing him, he doesn't even know how long it took him. I doubt he even knows how long he was in there. He was just saying an hour, probably. Could have been 2, for all I know. Anyway, finally pushed his button. Life alert calls me and my sister. Neither one of us were answering. I don't even know where I was, because I think the thing was, I knew he had missed the phone call because we talk at 8. But I was kind of thinking, well, he's probably in the tub, which guess what? He was in the tub. So Life Alert called. I think I had gone outside for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, I figured out they had called, except I thought it was him. I think maybe I heard it ringing. So I went and I didn't even look. And it doesn't say Life Alert, it says California. But I'd heard it ringing. So I just was like, just call him back. He didn't answer because it wasn't him. It was Life Alert. So I think when they called, I don't know if they call you before the paramedics get there, but anyway, it's like they're gonna update us and we will call you back and update you. So I figured out when he didn't answer, I was like, you know what? I started looking, I was like, oh, California. I was like, oh, it's Life Alert. It's Life Alert. Oh my gosh. So I called them. And then that's when they told me, we'll update you. And they said he was stuck in the tub. He couldn't get out. And we sent the paramedics. And my mom, I'm never thankful this woman was OCD, but she set up those, we had to switch this to a different brand, but she set up Verizon had this thing called Hum, and it was a tracker on his car and his truck, and it was great. It was great. She had set all this up. I didn't have to do anything but track him. So all of a sudden Verizon's gotten rid of that program, so we've had to go to something else. Well, he's not driving now anyway because he's been at the rehab for 2 weeks. But anyway, and she had set up a little lockbox thing outside, so and Life Alert it's better for him to call Life Alert than 911, which he couldn't get to the phone anyways, but he had a phone in there with him, but he couldn't get to it. So that's what Life Alert's for, because you can't get to the phone, but it's on your body. So thank God it worked, because Life Alert the thing doesn't always work. That's the other thing. It doesn't always work. So just everything fell into place. It worked like it was supposed to. Everything went off out of hitch, but she has a little lockbox outside, and Life Alert tells the paramedics how to get into it. Thank God for OCD people, because she cornered the market on it, but it's okay. I'm not even going to make fun of her, because 2 trackers on a tracker on each vehicle, so 2 trackers set up on an app. I've got the alarm system on an app. This is all from her iPad. All this control from her iPad. Thank goodness she was tech savvy, because I'm not. But she had 2 alarm systems hooked up to the iPad, the one at the farm and the one at the house. So anyway, okay, well, at 12:45, he fell, because he still wasn't in bed. Because why would he be? Why would he be in bed? You know, why would you be in bed? It's, well, because my dad, that's just not him. Okay, he's going to be up all night. If he's going to be up, he's just going to be up. So I'll tell you what, since he's been at the rehab, he slept a lot. He's napped. He doesn't believe in napping. He's napped, he's slept, he's napped. He fell, paramedic, same thing, Life Alert. I think he was going to lay there, which was stupid. Again, stupid. He was going to lay there, get a pillow. There's a bed right there where he fell. He was going to get a pillow off the bed, there was a rug right there. He's going to lay on the rug and sleep. But I was like, what? I didn't want them to bother you. You know, you just want to rip your hair out. Dad, we're not bothered. Okay, we're bothered because you're doing stupid things. But we're not bothered about Life Alert calling us, okay? That's not the bother. There are other things bothering me. That is not it. So anyway, he gave up, and he called him, which I was like, well, how did you think that was going to work? At some point you had to get up and you need to use a bathroom. Were you just going to use a bathroom on the floor? I mean, it's just, somebody explain to me how their mind works. He was on the way to the bathroom. He needed to go. He was just going to lay there and do what? All over the hardwood floor? And that wouldn't bother me. I'm going to tell you what's going to bother me more than Life Alert. You all over the floor, the hardwood floor and the rug. That would have, you know, you just want to pull your hair out, which I'm not pulling any more hair out. But you just want to scream and bang your head on something. It's just, all practical thought flies out of their heads. Well, I didn't want Life Alert to bother you. Who cares? Who cares about Life Alert? I don't care. Yeah, the thing was, we all slept through it. Dawn got up Friday. Dawn had to work Friday. So Dawn got up very early. I mean, I don't know if she has to be there at 5 or what. But anyway, she called Life Alert super early to see what she had missed. Or maybe she listened to the message and then called. He was at the hospital. He actually agreed to go to the hospital. I don't know. He agreed to go to the hospital. I don't know why. I'm in shock. Then, this is funny. He never advocates for himself. Never. The hospital was going to release him to the house. Going to release him to go back home. I'm not sure how he was going to get home, because he had been taken there in an ambulance. How does that work? Does the ambulance take you back? I mean, I'm just like, seriously? He doesn't know anything about Uber. He wouldn't know how to call it Uber. He wouldn't know how to do anything with Uber, okay? I was like, my dad advocated for himself, and he said, oh no, I'm falling. I cannot go home. I don't know if he said I need to go to rehab. I'm not sure what the conversation was, but he said, oh no, I live alone. I cannot go home. Well, rehab came up. So by the time I got there, okay, so here's the thing. I should have called the hospital, because when Dawn called, they were like settling him in a room. They couldn't tell her squat. What is with the hospital? This hospital just, the whole thing burned me up. So I don't know if calling would have helped or not helped, or Lord only knows. I don't know. But I didn't call. I just packed and packed and I thought, well, I'm going to be there the rest of my life. He's probably got a brain bleed. You know, you don't know. All I can think of, he's hit his head. He's got a, you don't know. You have no idea. Well, when I got there, funniest thing happened. I got there, he was in an observation room, because there was nothing in the world wrong with him, except that he had shingles that no one seemed to be. I'm the one that figured out he had the shingles, y'all. Do I look like a doctor? I'm the one days later that figured out it was shingles. I also got shingles in the meantime. The day I figured out he had shingles, that in the daytime, I figured it out. At night, I took my clothes off to take a shower, and I was like, I was so glad I figured out he had shingles, because I had a rash right here, and my neck, not even, it was not a rash right here yet, but I feel like it was going to move up this way. And my dad's rash was huge, which means it would have gone up to my face as well. I don't think it would have stopped here. My neck was beet red. I looked like I had sunburn. So I took my shirt off, and I was like, I like practically ran out of the bathroom, and I was like, Spencer, because he's had shingles. I said, I've got shingles. This is, it was brand new. It had just happened. It was only like this big, but my neck, I said, this is shingles. I do not get rashes. I've had people argue with me. I'm like, you don't understand. You don't understand. I do not have allergic reactions to things. I'm not saying I could never, but what I'm saying is I figured out that day my dad had shingles, and I was like, I don't get rashes. I wear these. I've got cotton. This is a cotton shirt here. This is cotton right here. Everything. I try to only, this does have polyester, but I try not to wear anything that itches. It's got to be soft. I use all free and clear pretty much for the most. That's all Spencer uses, but I pretty much use that all the time. And it's like, there's no reason I should have a rash or be itching or have an allergic reaction to anything that one of my friends says is stress. I was like, no, I'm telling you it was shingles, and I know how to get rid of shingles. For about 15 years, I wanted to test this out. I tested it out. Within 14, 15 hours, I had gotten rid of it. Thank God, because it was about like this. The rash was right here, and then the redness was all both sides, which they say the thing with shingles is it's one side. So he's had this rash on one leg. I don't know why. I know when the hospitalist himself looked at it. Hi, I'm Dr. Webb, the hospitalist. I said, he's got this horrible rash. Oh, that is bad. No clue what it. How could you not freaking know? Okay, I'm so sick of these people. They believe they're God. They know everything. I took him to urgent care. I didn't even know how bad it was. When he pulled his pants down, I was like, I felt abusive. I knew he had a rash. He had mentioned a rash. He had mentioned itching. He had mentioned some pain. My dad's not a big complainer. I almost died at the urgent care. This was on Monday before Christmas. So Christmas was Thursday. So on Monday before, we were at urgent care to talk about more than one thing. And one thing was this rash. I had not seen it. I almost died. Now I'm going to tell you something. She should have known what it was. I don't even know why I didn't realize what it was, because Spencer's had shingles. I treated it. Now his was, they all say it's usually on your trunk, which it was. It was like partially on his stomach and partially on his back, and it kind of wrapped around, and it mostly on one side, but I felt like his was toward the middle, but like this was toward, this is the middle right here. It was right here. So it wasn't on just one side. It was in the middle, on one side and in the middle. And in fact, it was closer to because it was here. It wasn't like here. So how many people have to look at shingles to figure out it's freaking shingles? That's all I want to know. How could you not know? So days later at the rehab, he said something about his leg burning. When he said burning, I didn't even tell him. I was like, oh my gosh, he's got shingles. Why didn't I know? Why did I not know? When I saw that on his leg at the urgent care, I should have known. And he kept saying, and of course it's all my fault, now I never told him to put this pair of pants on, I don't think, but I'd given him a jacket and a pair of pants, and he said, this jacket must be your mother's, it's real tight on me. The pants were mother's too, and I feel like they had to be too tight on him, but he liked them and they were comfortable, so he had them on for a day. I don't know if it was like a day or two, maybe a day and a half, and then this rash popped up. So he blamed it on like it rubbing or the material or something. I was like, okay, but why is it only on one side? Like this, that's why I'm thinking it's shingles. It's one side. You're telling me it's burning. That's not an allergic reaction. That's freaking shingles. And everything I read was like allergic reaction would probably be on both sides, which not necessarily. It would just depend. I think it would depend. But anyway, one side, heads up. One side, heads up. Also burning. And so I said, is it burning like from the inside out? Now, I had never, at this point, until like this week, I'd never had it. This was, what's today? Yeah, a week ago. It had popped up exactly a week ago. I'd never had shingles, but Spencer had it. And so I knew the burning and the nerve pain and the this and the that. And that's why when he said burning, I was like, oh, he's got shingles. So I have not been able to talk to anybody. I don't think anybody at that place knows he has shingles. I told my sister, I'm like, while you're there, because she's a nurse, I'm like, do you think you could talk these people into he has shingles and maybe get him something, maybe some gabapentin for the nerve pain? I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know that anybody ever gave anybody anything for shingles. I have no clue. Now, what I will tell you is they whipped into action on that rash. That rash was, it was so much better within 24 to 48 hours. Like the look of it, miraculous. Whatever they put on it, and I don't even think they put anything real serious on it. It was like they put on like some kind of zinc cream. I'm not even sure that helps shingles. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it looked good. It looked so much better. But it's still hurting. Guess why? Guess why? Because it's not just a rash, and it's not an allergy, Dad. So he's got him convinced it's an allergy. They're giving him allergy medicine. So I said to him, what do you mean they're giving you allergy medicine? Because his nose runs all the time. I said, is this because your nose runs? He goes, no, it's that rash. It's not an allergic reaction. I'm going to scream. It's, Dad, you have shingles. You have shingles. Now, I'm going to tell you how I got rid of shingles. So the first thing was, I'm so glad it wasn't on my back. I wouldn't have seen, I knew nothing. Until I took my shirt off, nothing itched, nothing hurt. I noticed nothing, but it was there. It was about like this. And it wasn't super red. It was this right here. The redness terrified me. I was like, oh, it wasn't even this. It was that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And I was like, it's going to my face. I can't, if that gets in your eye, have any of y'all had shingles in your eye? It's not comfortable. Can I just tell you, it's nerve pain in your eye. No, who wants that? You don't even want nerve pain on your body anywhere. You don't want it in your eye. So I showed Spencer and I said, L-lysine. And we keep it on hand. This is why, because I've learned this. I know it's good it works. It works. It will work if you will use it. So I've had people tell me it doesn't work. And I'm like, you didn't use enough. That's why I say you didn't use enough. I say, you got to hit it hard. You got to hit it hard. So now I said to myself, I got to hit it hard. I don't know what that means. I know, no clue. I just totally made it up as I went along. So I was about to get in the shower. I saw that. I showed Spencer and I'm like, where's the L-lysine? I got to find it. Found it. It was in the kitchen. So I found it really very fast. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take 3. So they're 500 milligrams each. So that was 1,500 milligrams of It's L, like the letter L, lysine, L-Y-S-I-N-E. If you're scared of shingles, and I do not have a vaccine, my dad, I'm sure, my dad vaccinates for everything. I vaccinate for nothing. He vaccinates for everything. I'm sure he's vaccinated. Didn't matter. Got a horrible rash anyway. Horrible. I don't care what they say. Oh, it makes it not as bad. Horrible rash. I'm telling you, it was horrible. If he were a complainer, we'd have heard a lot more about it. He's just not. I think he also has high pain tolerance. So anyway, I took 3. I took a shower. I'm not making this up. I got out of the shower and I was like, I can hardly see the rash anymore. And this redness, bright red, this redness was about half as much. And I was like, good stuff. So I'd taken 3. That was 1,500 milligrams total. Went back in the kitchen, took 2 more. So now I've taken 5 total. So I took 2 more. Within about 30 to 45 minutes, not kidding, rash was gone. However, I was talking to my friend on the phone. She's like, is it tingling? Now, I didn't tell her it was tingling because she's very high stress. It was tingling. She said that, is it tingling? And I was like, no. Yes. The rash was gone. I think it was completely gone by then. It was either gone or almost gone. I don't even think it was really that red. I think maybe this was still a little bit red, but I don't think this part was, maybe just a little bit red, but the rash was gone. But it was tingling. I was like, oh, great. I guess I has to run its stupid course. So I probably could have taken a couple more, but I just went on to bed and didn't worry about it because the rash was gone. I was like, it's just going to run its course. It's fine. Got up the next morning. Okay, I felt like the L-lysine, that many, so it was 5 L-lysine. I felt like that had made me kind of tired. And I had to drive, that was the day I drive all the way to Memphis. And I thought, traffic is bad. I do not wish to be this tired. I think I took 3. I wanted, listen, it was burning at this point. It wasn't serious burning. It was burning at that point. And I was like, well, I'm going to take 3 and I'm going to take a handful with me. I got to work. Everything was going fine. I wasn't tired on the way to work. And I was like, I'm doing pretty good. I feel pretty good. This burning is going on. It's very minimal, but I don't wish it to continue to burn. So I'm going to take 2 more. I took 2 more. I started feeling a little bit sluggish. Not like I want to go to bed, but for me, I'm usually not sluggish at all at work unless I'm not well. If I'm not well, maybe, yeah, but I can power through the work and do the work. So that definitely made me tired for sure. So I was like, well, I can't take any more. And then I thought, well, okay, so at that point it was still burning. So that was 5 more. So 5 before bed, and then 5 more, 3, and then 2 after I got to work. I'd been to work for probably 2 hours. I took 2 more. So 10 total at this point. That was about 10:30 in the morning. By 12:30, not kidding, the burning had stopped. Pretty much stopped. I don't know that it was 100% stopped, but it was very close to the end. And I told a couple people, and they were like, I don't think that's what it was. I was like, it was, because if you look into L-lysine, it treats all the viruses that are related to shingles. So the reason I know about L-lysine is because cats can get something called feline herpes. And I learned from a veterinarian, not even mine, a different one, one that's also very good. I learned from her to use L-lysine for feline herpes. It works better than the antiviral. So what I've told everybody, anybody who gets shingles, I say to them, go to the doctor, get the antiviral, hit it hard with the L-lysine. And I personally didn't even know what that meant, but I knew I could give my cats a lot. So I could give my cats like 5 a day. And you can open it up into food, and it's when you open the capsule, it's a powder. So it's salty. It tastes really salty, but you can open it up, stir it into some canned cat food. Most cats will eat it, although it is weird because it's very salty. And so that's what I used to do, because I had cats with severe, and I had one cat, he had a horrible case of feline herpes, and it's different with them. For him, it attacks their eyes or their sinuses. With him, it attacked one eye. His eye, I didn't think his eye would ever go back to normal. We finally got him well. I had to take him to the eye expert. Very expensive to go over there. You don't want to go to the eye expert. My vet had no idea what was going on. It was feline herpes. I had never heard of it. I knew nothing about it. A different vet told me about the L-lysine, not the eye expert vet who should have known, a different vet. And the next time, because stress can flare this condition in cats or in people, same with people. So the next time the cats start up with the eye, they start winking at you. The minute that winking started, I was like, we're not doing this again. Because his eye looked terrible for, I think, probably 2 or 3 months. It was horrible. I didn't think his eye would ever look normal, and it did. It took forever. It finally went back to normal. It took forever. But I didn't know about L-lysine until later on in the process. I didn't know right away. The eye expert didn't tell me a word about it. He's like, antiviral, which, by the way, doesn't help that much. I'm just going to tell you. But I always tell people, go to the doctor, get the antiviral. Well, the thing was, I couldn't even take my own advice because the thing went away. There was nothing by that night. I mean, 2 hours later, gone. This was gone. What was I gonna show them? There was nothing there. Who would have believed that I had shingles? So I couldn't even take my own advice, which is to get the antiviral. Well, I didn't need it. And I actually didn't think I would need it, and I'll tell you why. Because the next time that eye thing started up, I hit it with L-lysine with that cat. I probably gave him 5 capsules in a day. This is like every hour. This stupid train. Anyway, I was getting him probably 5 capsules a day. Didn't need the antiviral. Didn't need it. I freaked out when I saw his eye. I gave him the L-lysine and called the vet and the eye doctor. And I was like, I've got to bring him in. He's got, And the vet, the eye expert, went off on me when he got there because the cat looked fine. By the time, not even kidding, by the time the cat got there, he was fine. It took me like 45 minutes to get there from here. So within an hour, his eye had cleared up. I get him to the eye expert, and he said, why did you bring him in here? All you're doing is stressing him out, and that is making this worse. I said, because I gave him L-lysine. He did not look like that when I made the appointment, and he didn't look like that when I left the house. But on the way here, who knew? I didn't know it was going to work that. Who knew it was going to work that well? So it just was. It was like a wasted trip. But anyway, and he was mad. He was furious at me. He's like, why would you bring this cat in here? I'm like, thought I was doing the right thing. He had a horrible case of it before. I didn't want it to, So anyway, that's how I know it works. I've known for years and years. I've probably known for 15 years that this would work. I did not know how much. I would have never known how much to tell somebody to take. Now I know. Now I know. If you hit it hard immediately, you clear it up in a day. So by noon, 1 o'clock, it was gone the next day. This all started probably it would have started before then, but I saw it about 10 o'clock at night. So who knows? I don't know what time it started, but it wasn't there that morning. I would have seen it when I got dressed because I stand right in front of a mirror, so I would have seen it. Okay, so anyway, my dad, this is the rehab, the good rehab that my mom was in. It's a really good rehab. It's the best rehab there. Unfortunately, you're sitting in a wheelchair a lot, not exercising, and you're laying in bed a lot. So he's getting out on Thursday, but I had a real problem with them because they were not they do all this OT, which is not even kidding. My dad, his brain is fine. There's nothing wrong with his brain. They had him sorting socks. Oh, they do 3 hours of therapy, and part of this time we're sorting socks. Listen, I don't care if he ever sorts another sock. I could care less. I want him walking. I want him to be able to climb the stairs from the garage where the car is into the house. And I want him to be able to get up from a chair. That's all I care about. If you could just work on those 3 things. So I talked to the case manager yesterday, and she's like, oh, I told him we're going to work on those things. Thank you, God. You probably could have worked on those things for a week and got him out of there, but whatever. Medicare's letting him stay 2 weeks. But, they just were not focused on what we were needing. There's too much focus on stupidity, complete and total stupidity. They have these little beanbag things, and they're having you get this with the grabber. Look, I actually don't care if he reaches anything with the grabber. Is that good? Is that good for him to know? Sure. You know what I need him to do? Walk, climb those stairs, get up out of a chair. These are if he can do these, he can use the grabber. Okay, I'm just saying. I know it's a whole thing with them, and I know they got to do this, that, and the other. I'm just saying, oh my word, stop with the sorting of the socks and the bean bags and something with cards. Stop with all that. I don't care about any of that. I want him to walk. I want him to get up out of the chair. And the other thing is, and he complained loudly to them, they're like hauling him out of the wheelchair. See, at home, first of all, I cannot haul this man out of a wheelchair. I don't weigh that much. He's only 150 pounds. I'm not strong enough to get him up, okay? You hauling him out of the chair, not helpful. Not helpful. And he wants you to stop and let him get up if you'll just leave him alone. So yesterday, again, he doesn't advocate for himself much, but he advocated for himself yesterday, and he said to them, you have got to let me go up and down these stairs by myself. 2 people had their hands all over me, and I still don't know if I can go up and down. He said, I believe that I can go up and down the stairs, but who knows? You've got to stop putting your hands all over me. And to this woman's credit, She let him do it. I was not there, but he said he did it up and down by himself. And I was like, thank God. I feel more comfortable because I really thought I was going to go home and move in and wait on him to kind of gain strength at home just because he wouldn't be sitting in the wheelchair all day or laying in the bed. Like, these things are not helpful. If you're trying to get your parent up and walking, I understand this is what the way it has to be, and it's only 3 hours, and 3 hours a day is a lot for some people. It's really not that much for him because he's strong enough to do it. Thank the Lord. But it's just, this whole thing is just very frustrating for both of us because he's ready to go. He is raring to go. And he wants to get up and go on the walker. He wants to show them that he can walk on the walker. Anyway, the whole thing has just been very frustrating. But things are better. And so today is Tuesday. He is leaving Thursday. He's got a doctor appointment with a dermatologist to look at the leg. I mean, there's not a whole lot to look at there anymore. It's about cleared up. But again, it's painful. So my sister, I'm going to be with the kids. That's the Bible study day. My sister said she would pick him up at the rehab, I'll get all his stuff together, take him to the doctor appointment. And so I'm hoping my sister will impress on this woman that this is not an allergy rash. This is actually shingles that is clearing up, that we could use some, some nerve pain medicine for. I'm certainly not against it. I mean, why in the world couldn't we have already done this? I don't know. The state of medical care in this country is abysmal. It's if we can't figure out, if we have 10 people looking at a rash and nobody knows it's shingles, I don't even know. Doesn't that seem basic? And if you look it up, I mean, I looked up shingles on a leg. Gee, that looks just like it. I'm not a doctor. Why am I the one that's figuring this out? They don't have any common sense. They think they're God. It's annoying. Okay, so anyway, that's all I've been doing. I've been running back and forth to Jackson. I did work today. I didn't go yesterday. I went to the gym today. Went to the gym yesterday. I'm not going over there. I was there all weekend. I'm not going over there during the week because the way it's 3 hours of rehab with lunch in the middle. So if I drive an hour and a half over there, then I'm going to sit there and eat lunch with him for an hour and a half. Then he's going to go right back to rehab. And so during the weekend, they let me go. It wasn't very busy, but I think during the week it's super busy. So, and they only did an hour on the weekend too. That was the other thing. Thank goodness they did something, because they don't necessarily have to do it. It's 3 hours during the week, but they don't have to do it on the weekend. But they did take him for an hour both days. So, I mean, fine, whatever, fine with me. Better than just sitting there. But I mean, he's just sitting there in a wheelchair. You're not gaining strength like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I feel like he's gonna gain. I mean, they did do a lot of arm work with him, which he needs. He needs the arm strengthening for sure. But I wasn't against that either. That's wonderful. Do the arm work. Do the leg work. Do the arm work. But this, beanbag, whatever, and sock, whatever, and these cards up on this board. No. His mind is fine. His mind is fine. His fingers are fine. He knows how to sort socks. If he never sorted socks again, I could care less. Not important. Not important to me at all. He didn't have to do speech therapy because there's nothing wrong with his speech. That's the good news, because then there would have been an hour of, you'd have done less PT and more speech. So this way he was getting a good mix of OT PT. If he had to do speech, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. I don't know what to say. It'd just be too much. All right, thanks for being with me. I'm sorry, it's just, I should have uploaded the other video, I just didn't. But I know I've got a lot more information, so it's basically, you didn't miss anything because I've said everything, and I know a lot more now than I did. So Dawn can't stay Thursday night. She'll be there Thursday, but she can't stay Thursday night. So I'm gonna work with the kids, then drive over there, get him some groceries and stuff like that. If they're not home yet, I'll stock the fridge or whatever and just wait on them and help get him in, but make sure we can get him in. But I'm gonna stay overnight Thursday, see how it goes. I have a doctor appointment because this is still, I can't go well. I don't know. I've had a month of antibiotics. I still can't breathe. It's just, I'm so tired of it. And my friend said, maybe maybe you just need surgery again. I said, surgery was not a big deal. I would do, my surgeon's great. I would do surgery again, but I talked to him a year ago and he's like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's no reason to do surgery. Well, I'm sick all the time. I am sick he looks at my x-ray or my CT scan. It's like, it's totally clear. Well, I can't breathe. And I know it's not totally clear right now because I can tell I'm sick. This is all stopped up. It's stopped up. I feel like I have concrete sitting here and here. It's worse here, but this isn't great either. I mean, it's ridiculous. Who wants to be on antibiotics every day of every month of every week of every month of the entire year? Who? And I hate medicine. I mean, I take stuff I have to take, but who wants to be on, what is this doing to me to be on this many antibiotics for this long, for these extended periods of time? It can be good for you. And I'm on a compounded nasal spray that has a different antibiotic in it. Do you think that's working? I'm spending $67 a month on that. Haven't noticed any change. I've been getting it for months. I use it because she'll say, are you using it? Religiously, twice a day. Just like it says. Religiously. I'm so sick of this. Anyway, this has been quite the... I hope I don't sound negative. I know I sound negative. I'm very positive about where things are going. I think Dad's going to be okay. I mean, we all know Dad shouldn't be by himself, right? He's still not for the sitters. I may have to just force them on him. I'm sure at some point I'm just going to have to put my foot down and be like, you're going to have some sitters. You're just going to have, you have to. But honestly, I think it's they'd be there probably in the daytime. I don't think, every time he has an issue, it's later, So I'm not even sure how helpful that is, if I'm being honest. If they're only there for a few hours during the day and his problem time is at night and he won't freaking go to bed, he's not one to like, oh, it's 10, Spencer and I, it's 10 o'clock. It's time to head toward the bedroom. Whatever it is you need to do before bed, time to do it right now. I know, and we're tucked in and done by 10:45, 11. My dad's not like that. He's just not like that. And as the day gets longer, he's tireder and I don't know. Anyway, I hope I don't sound super negative. I'm like I said, I think Thursday's going, I feel like in my heart, Thursday's going to go well. I feel like we're going to be able to get him into the house between the two of us, surely. And anyway, we'll see how it goes. I'll update you after, hopefully I'll update you after, I don't know. We'll see when I get, I got to come back Friday and go to that doctor appointment. And then I hate to keep driving back and forth. I'll probably have to go back over there. I don't know. I'm probably going to be afraid. I guess once he gets home and I can see how he's walking at home, I'll have a better idea Thursday, I guess. Thursday into Friday. All right. Love you guys.